you turn the key to your right where the green button is. You let the electric process go through. It'll engage. Once it engages,
Reset.
this is you hit the reset button. Once you hear that beeping, you push the reset button and then you disengage the brake. And then all you do is push the arrow that goes to your left, and that'll move us forward.
Because you can't do a slide.
F8 button hits, just push it once, it disengages, so now it knows that somebody's sitting in the seat.
To align the steering wheel.
Okay, so now that we straddled over the rail, and we look through the sight glass to the left and the right,
Okay, you can see.
so that you can see the rail wheels right through the sight glass, which is lit.
Anyway, we need to go a little bit in front.
As you can see, it needs to move a little bit more forward. And I believe once you move forward from the sight glass,
No, we are okay.
now we're okay. So you go back into the panel and you see the thing that looks like 4 wheels. Victor's pointing at it. It'll tell you once it goes green that you're straddling over perfectly. So once you do that, you push the parking brake, and the parking brake is flashing, and then you hit the button right next to the parking. That will drop your rail wheels onto the rail itself.
Hey, lift it up your wheel.
And you'll hold the button in.
Yeah.
Okay, once you held it in that long, you'll hear the beep, obviously. Once you hear the beep, you take the parking brake off and hit the arrow, which is towards your right-hand side.
We are not
We're not on the
On the
rail,
rail.
exactly.
exactly.
And the reason
Go-
why you see it is because you can look through the sight glass and see that, which is right there.
Okay, so we need to go.
So we need to push the parking brake back on.
We need to go a little bit more
Now move forward. So you're bringing the
Road wheels down.
road wheels down so you can move it forward, which is the button he's holding in position at the moment, which is below the button he was holding before. So this engages the poly wheels. He engaged the parking brake, and now he's moving forward when he pushed the button with the arrow, which is pointing towards the left. So now he moved it up. We're looking through this. There's 2 clear paths that are next to the unit that you can see through when the rail is sitting on the rail itself. The rail wheels are on the rail. Put the parking brake on again. Hold the button, which is next to the parking brake, to the right.
Victor.
Record this.
And now stand out here.
This is how it's supposed to look according to the rail, which is still,
That's okay. It's okay. It'll fall.
even though it's sitting a little bit onto the concrete,
Oh, but stand too much. It will move.
it will move into the groove. Now it fell into this pocket. All right, All right, Victor has now set it down on the rail itself. We are now moving literally on the rail. And he's got the arrow, which is lit, pointing towards the right side, which is actually going down as we speak, the track. The SIFA button, the safety button, he just pushed that, it just made a noise. And we're still moving along the rail. He pushed the button, which is obviously going in the same direction that we're going on the rail, which would be to the left. Safety button went off again. He's now pushing the parking brake on. It's not lit up. There it goes.
Computer works.
Victor, you'll clearly see the top. Okay, so now we're looking at the compressor button, which is this. This will engage the compressor, which will build up the air, which would be the gauge, which is right here. Okay, so now that it exceeded close to 140, it will automatically shut off. I thought it was 120, but it's 140. Once it shuts off, the system will literally clear. You'll clearly hear the system like its gas has just released the tank.
BP, that we call BP.
Okay,
brake
the
pressure.
yellow arrow is the brake pressure, which is the, I guess the acronym would be B, or the initials BP. And the orange
is MR,
is
main reservoir pressure.
main reservoir pressure, MRP. Main reservoir pressure. Now,
Yeah.
what is the purpose of the main reservoir pressure?
Because we must have a reserve of air to refill continuously
So you need a reserve of air.
to refill continuously the wagon brakes if required, okay? Because when I am connected to a wagon, okay, with the hose line, okay, and
When you connect the hose line to, right, which is, so
you
when
connect this,
so if this is when you connect this hose to,
the wagon,
right,
truck, wagon, okay?
we call it a car, rail car. You
Car.
call it a wagon, right?
Okay,
Okay.
wagon car.
Okay.
You connect this,
Okay.
and you open the tip,
And you open up.
the
Okay.
tip, like this, okay? Air is coming out,
So the air comes out of the hose.
and you release the wagon brake,
So you release
the car brake,
the car brake.
yeah, okay?
Okay.
Because brakes are negative type, so you need pressure inside to release brakes, is correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you connect this, you open, and when you open, you can see the red gauge, the orange gauge that
So when you
goes
release
down.
the air, nozzle, the orange gauge will go down, will drop down with the pressure
Drop down, okay?
on the gauge.
So
Gotcha.
when the crab and inside the wagon, we have the same pressure. We must have the same pressure, okay?
So the pressure of this Zephir unit has to be the same pressure as a rail
comes
car.
inside the car, comes inside the car to release the brake, and the pressure must be the same.
Okay.
Crab and car must have the same pressure.
Okay.
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 So now car are released. Brakes in the car are released, and you can move
I gotcha. Okay.
the car. Okay. When you are moving, if you want brake the wagon,
If you want to
must
brake the
use-
brake car.
you must use this lever.
That lever right here.
The lever, okay? So if I move the lever, you can see
The
the
gauge.
yellow. If I move the lever,
So once you do the lever,
the yellow
look up at the
gauge
yellow gauge.
drop down.
Goes down. That's
Okay.
releasing the pressure, correct?
Yeah, I reduce the pressure and brakes are applied.
Okay.
Brakes are applied.
Stop.
In the
Tank is charged.
completely refilled.
Completely filled. Then you connect these pipes onto the rail cars. And what it does is there is actually a pipe on the rail car that gets filled up with the air.
Okay.
Once that balance is reached, now you know it's fully charged.
How do you know on the rail car, how do you know that's balanced with this?
The 90 psi, once it gets to the 90 psi,
Okay.
this is when it fills up the rail cars.
Okay. So
We
once it
must
hits,
have the same pressure inside the cab and inside the wagon. So the pressure 5.2 bar or 72 psi must be the same. So car are with
Both-
brake release and we can move all the convoy.
okay.
Yeah, just
To brake, simply I reduce
Just a little bit.
I reduce the pressure like this, and automatically brakes are applied.
Automatically the brakes are applied. I
Applied.
gotcha.
the one caveat over here. In US on the AAR, all the trains are at 90 psi.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we will do here is we'll change this to a 90 psi. That's one. Second thing is they have the proportional valve in there, so it's very touchy. When you look at Trackmobile, they have a 90, 80, 70, and 60. So when you go from 90 to 80, that means you're again closing the brakes down. And
So 90 is fully expanded.
90 is fully expanded. So that's why we need to change this to 90 psi because right now it's set at
So it's
75.
dummy proof.
Exactly. So we'll make that change because this one is set at 75 right now. And this is the conference call we had regarding that pressure.
Yeah.
So we need to change that to 90.
So this will be changed to the standards of the US standards, basically.
Because what happens is if you are not used to that lever, if you pull it a little bit too fast, what happens is it's releasing the air on the rail cars. And it thinks that there is some sort of a leak. And if there is a leak, then it'll just shut down immediately.
So by doing 90, you're
90
keeping it
is
consistent.
balanced.
It'll shut down.
Yeah.
It'll just
90 to 80 is a slow release of the air. This one is very fast release of the air. So it thinks it goes into an emergency mode, it'll shut it down. Okay? So this is something I know we'll be talking quite a bit about.
This is the difference between European
And the US.
and US way of use.
Yeah, but if you standardize it, more or less, if you put it at 90, you won't have to worry about the 75, the 80, or whatever the case
When
may
you
be.
guys see it, it'll be changed to 90.
Okay, so it's more dummy proof than anything else.
Machine.
Adjusting valve inside the machine, so you can set up to 90 psi.
Okay,
Before it comes to you guys, it'll be at 90 psi.
all right, good.
Yeah,
Don't
there-
worry, don't worry.
There is a valve inside that manually you can
You
adjust.
can adjust.
You can adjust it.
Very
Value
easy, yeah.
You need, more or less.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds good to me.
Another thing about the
Sound
training.
good?
Yeah,
This should not happen, right? Because when you're moving the machine, you actually lined it up.
correct. It
and
should
then
stay
you-
there.
Exactly, it should stay there. So let's say someone just moved it accidentally.
Okay.
Now you're trying to move the road wheels down, right?
So
Which is
in
this
order to
arrow.
move the road wheels down, don't you have to disengage the reset button or
No, you're
nothing?
Nothing. It should work
Okay.
just fine. When I press this,
When you press that button.
see this? It's showing yellow.
Correct. That should always be yellow.
That should always be green.
Okay.
This
Now
should
it's
always
orange.
be green. This ring should show green.
That'll tell you that the wheel is straight.
Exactly. Now
If the wheel is not straight, it will not go
No,
down.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So that's what we were trying to push it down. It's still not
And it
going
wasn't
down.
engaging because the wheel wasn't straight. It was to
Exactly.
the left until we looked underneath
so
and
now
noticed
I
it.
go on turning this till this green light shows up here. There we go.
Okay, now the light's just lit. It's illuminated.
Now it's illuminated. Now I can bring the. Now it's going to bring the road
Now you
wheel.
hold the button down.
Right.
This will bring the wheel down. So the poly wheel down, which will lift the rail wheels off of the track.
Exactly.
So the front goes down first, and then the back will
Backs
do
are
the
coming
same.
down.
So once the parking brake light is lit, and you hear the beeping, that's telling you all the wheels are on the
road
track.
Mode. The road mode.
In the road mode,
Road
correct.
mode, not the rail mode.
Not
This
the
is
rail mode.
road mode. Okay. Now I'm going to take the.
They're taking the parking brake off,
All right.
and now we're going to push. Obviously, it's to the.
So I'm pushing back.
So the arrow, which is to the right, will put you in reverse.
Right. Now I'm turning this. I'm going.
Now it's
forward.
going the opposite way, which is the arrow to the top, which now it's engaged because it's green.
Accelerate. Always, when you turn the steering wheel, you always need to accelerate to avoid to make effort too high on the rubber.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so now he accelerated just a little bit in order to get it moving. Now we're actually moving as we speak.
Okay. So we'll record this again inside. So you take it down on the rail, you bring it back up, so you guys have an idea of what's going on.
It's not that difficult. The only... Okay, now we're getting into where the coupler is. It's an AAR coupler. American
Association of
Railroad coupler. It's standard in the United States.
You pull the pin out.
Once you pull the pin out, which would actually stay right there where the hole is,
And then you just move the coupler.
and you just move the coupler, so it's fully extended.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Now, when you move the rail car mover, when you move it towards the car, it will automatically engage. In order to disengage, there is actually a lever on the rail car side.
So there's going to be a lever on the rail car side.
Yeah, you just pull, it will disengage this coupler. You move the rail car mover out.
Okay.
That's simple. Okay?
Got it. Line it up with this. One better. Hold on. Go like this.
There we go. That's centimeters, huh?
Can you see it? Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.